The need achievement theory suggests that motivation is the drive and desire to be successful. It can be explained by both personality and situational factors. The personality factors of motivation can be split into two sections: the need to achieve and then the need to avoid failure. The need to achieve is when someone wants to do well in their sport and will have a go at everything to have a chance to succeed. This is also known as approach behaviour because they will approach every situation. Some characteristics of someone with a need to achieve personality is that they always want feedback to see how they can improve and get better. They are also not afraid of failure, so won't be scared to take risks and challenges even though they might not be successful. For example, John is asking his siblings to help him improve his swimming even though he wasn't one of the best. As he wasn't afraid to ask for help and challenge himself to improve, even though it is likely that he will have a need to achieve personality rather than a need to avoid failure personality. The need to avoid failure is when someone is motivated because they don't want to fail rather than that they want to achieve something. This is also called avoidance behaviour because they won't do something if there is a chance that they might fail at it. Some characteristics of someone with the need to avoid failure are that they will avoid challenges because they may not be able to succeed, and they also don't like feedback because they wouldn't want to be told that they haven't completely succeeded in something. Although John does have a need to achieve personality, he also has a need to avoid failure because he has stopped swimming in his PE lessons, as he isn't as good as his classmates and he won't want to fail in the races against them. The situational factors are the probability of success, which is how likely someone is going to achieve something and succeed in a certain situation. In John's PE class, he isn't the fastest, so he has a low probability of success, as he isn't likely to win against the classmates in the races that they do. The other situational factor is the incentive value of success. This is how good the success would be if someone did manage to succeed. As John isn't likely to succeed against people in his PE class, then if he does succeed, it will feel like more of an achievement because he wasn't expected to win, so this success will have more value. This graph shows how someone with a need to achieve personality is more likely to participate if they have a low probability of success, because although they aren't likely to win, they aren't afraid to fail, and the achievement that they will have if they do succeed will be even greater. This is represented by person A. However, someone with a need to avoid failure is more likely to participate if they have a high probability of winning, because they really don't want to fail and would rather not fail and then feel more achievement if they do win. For example, a football team who is very successful will have a very high chance of success against a lower team, and they will be expected to win, so the win won't feel like much of an achievement. However, for the lower team, they won't have a chance of success that is high because they aren't likely to win. But if they do win, then it will seem like much more of an achievement because they would have had to work hard for it. The other diagram is a cross that was developed by Atkinson and McClelland in 1976 to show how someone may have a need to achieve personality and a need to avoid failure personality. The first plot represents someone who has a low need to avoid failure and a higher need to achieve. This would be someone in the top left-hand corner of the cross, whereas the bottom right-hand corner of the cross represents someone who would have a low need to achieve and a high need to avoid failure. On this diagram, John would be somewhere in the middle because he has a need to achieve because he wants to do well in his swimming and a need to avoid failure personality because he has stopped when he couldn't succeed and wasn't as good as his classmates. There are ways to improve John's need to achieve and decrease his need to avoid failure, which would cause him to become more motivated in his swimming. One way to do this would be to use positive reinforcement, such as giving him positive feedback when he joins in with swimming, to increase his pride and make him want to continue swimming in order to keep getting positive feedback. To reduce the need to avoid failure, they shouldn't punish him, as it can make him feel like he shouldn't fail rather than teaching him that it's okay to fail and better to try to succeed. Another theory is the growth mindset theory by Dweck in 2008. He believed that skills and abilities can be developed and improved over time through practice, dedication, and hard work, as opposed to a fixed mindset that believes that basic attributes are fixed dispositions that can't be changed or developed. People with a fixed mindset would believe that during learning they must always look completely competent at everything that they do and look good to others, rather than people with a growth mindset who would believe that you should practice on skills that need improvement instead of just easy skills. John has a growth mindset in his learning because he has asked for improvement on his swimming from his siblings rather than just doing what he finds easy to look good for his siblings. People with a fixed mindset also believe that learning should come naturally, so they are less likely to work really hard to get something if they don't get it straight away, because they think that talent alone leads to success. Whereas people with a growth mindset would believe that to succeed you need to put in a lot of effort and hard work. This is what John needs to do because he dropped out of swimming because he didn't feel as good as his classmates, instead of continuing to put in a lot of effort to be successful. Someone's mindset can also have an effect on how they handle setbacks. A fixed mindset wouldn't learn from their mistakes and instead would try to act as if they haven't done anything wrong by hiding and concealing their mistakes, and try to retreat by blaming others and making excuses. They might also try to act superior towards others as they feel uncomfortable with their setbacks. However, someone with a growth mindset would learn from their mistakes by confronting their deficiencies. All this would make someone with a growth mindset be more successful than someone with a fixed mindset because they would recover from any failures they have to improve their overall performance and be more motivated to keep trying to be successful. The attribution theory tries to predict success by what performers put their success and failure down to. It is a perceived reason for a particular result that someone may get. This table shows the different ways a performer may try to explain their behaviour. The locus of causality refers to whether they believe their result was because of internal factors such as their ability and their effort, or external factors such as the coaching that they have had or their luck. Stable factors are factors that remain the same over a longer period of time such as their ability or coaching that they may have, whereas unstable factors are factors that are constantly changing, such as how much they practice or the difficulty of the task. This theory believes that if a performer puts their success down to internal factors, then they are more likely to succeed because they believe that they themselves are the cause of being successful. They also put their failure down to external unstable factors because this can cause them to believe that it is easily changed and they can become successful. For John to carry on swimming and be more successful, he should believe that he isn't as good as his classmates because they are also very good, not because of his own swimming ability. However, if he believes that he isn't being successful because he isn't able, then he is less likely to succeed. This can be called the self-serving basis, which is the use of attributions to protect self-esteem and confidence, and is used by high achievers and will help John feel better about his swimming. The attribution theory also believes that lack of motivation can be explained by learnt helplessness, which is where someone believes that it is inevitable that they will fail because they have no control over the situations that they are in. This causes them to feel hopeless, so they are more likely to actually fail as they don't feel as motivated to try. This can occur through someone always attributing their defeat down to internal factors, which may be why John is starting to feel unmotivated to swim, because he believes that the reason he isn't succeeding is because he has a low swimming ability. The two types of learnt helplessness are general and specific. General learnt helplessness is when someone believes that they are not good at anything, but as John only believes he can swim well, he can't swim well. This is specific learnt helplessness, where someone believes that they aren't good at one certain sport. The achievement goal theory tries to explain someone's behaviour towards developing the ability to perform and achieve something. The two types are outcome orientation and task goal orientation. Outcome orientation is when someone compares themselves to others and are competitive to always win and demonstrate their superiority against others. John has this because he dropped out of swimming because he was comparing himself to others who also swam, which made him feel bad about himself. Some characteristics of this that John have are dropping out when failing and also a reduced effort when failing, because he no longer is continuing with his swimming, as well as a higher chance of experiencing anxiety in competition because they believe that they need to look good and feel pressure to be better than others. This is shown because John doesn't like to do the competitive racings in his lessons. It would be better if he became more task goal orientated, which is where someone only makes comparisons with themselves, which will help them improve because they push themselves to learn new skills and perform better. If John had this type of personality, then he would continue with his swimming, because even though he isn't successful as he would like to be, he would still continue and put in a high amount of effort.